Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Arcade Football, and it is Q&A week. We have actually had quite a few responses from you, beloved fans, telling us what some of your opinions are on football. So questions you've even got for us. I've put them all together, and we're going to go through them in this episode. Okay. Obviously, we have David, Carl, and Stu to each value your opinions. Of course, we do value your opinions.
Are we starting with
depending on what you
questions
say.
or opinions?
We are mixing it up. We're mixing them up. Okay.
I like it. I like
So,
it.
all right. So we're going to start off with this one, and it is from Stephen in Doncaster.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Prime Ozil was better than prime Kevin De Bruyne and Modric.
No, you might almost have had me before he said Modric, but there's no. I certainly wouldn't. No, not a chance. Prime Modric beats pretty much any other player, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. I read that and I was the same. I thought De Bruyne, you could maybe argue.
Yeah, maybe, but then Modric. No, I'm
Modric.
sorry. I'm sorry, Stephen from Doncaster. That's no, not for me. Not for me.
I'm sorry,
Not for me.
Stephen from Doncaster. Put down the pipe, mate. There's absolutely no chance. No. How can you say so? Prime Mesut Ozil, who kind of did okay
Clearly
at
an
Real
Arsenal
Madrid,
fan.
but ultimately wasn't the superstar they expected. Yeah, did okay at a pretty poor Arsenal team, realistically. Not a well-beaten Arsenal team. Then you compare them to Kevin De Bruyne, who for a good 4 or 5 years was the best player in the Premier League, realistically, best midfielder in the world at that time. And then you look at someone like Luka Modric, who has been there, done it, won everything at one of the best Real Madrid teams there's ever been, which means one of the best football teams there's ever been. Sorry, what are we even doing here? There's unpopular opinions, and there's something that's like
Look,
he said
yeah,
that.
I think he's been watching. I think he's been watching those. I think he's been watching those highlight reels again.
he's been
He's been watching those
romanticizing
highlight reels
Ozil.
again.
Yeah.
Like
The only time when I look back about Ozil, I sit there and go that prime was very good. Like he
Make no mistake, he
very
was
good.
magnificent at
He was
Arsenal at
like
his best. I mean, yeah,
2012 to 2016, he was easily one of the best
he was
midfielders in
fabulous.
the world.
Yeah.
But Modric, like produced.
No,
it
for
from
me, Modric is one of my
2013
favorite
all
ever
the way
players. So I'll
through.
always put Modric over pretty much anyone else unless it's Iniesta. But yeah, no, and even Kevin De Bruyne is a push. Even though I think at times Kevin De Bruyne was slightly overrated, I do think yeah, Kevin De Bruyne was winning Premier League after Premier League and Champions League. You can't really. I don't know. It's an interesting take. I'll give you that. But that's about the nicest thing I could say about it, to be honest.
I just love the way he just
Hey, look,
put the quote out there. He didn't put any explanation. He didn't sit there and justify it.
Yeah.
He just thought
I love it, yeah.
he just put that statement and just went.
Brilliant. I love it. Yeah. State your opinion. Yeah. Stand by it. I like it.
To be fair,
I like his style.
You know, I love stats and trophies to try and back it up. I think Ozil's probably won more than people realise. Obviously,
And he won a World Cup.
Won the World Cup with Germany.
That's true.
Won FA Cups with Arsenal. FA Cups, not just one.
They went on a mad FA Cup run.
Yeah. He won the La Liga title with Real Madrid. Won the Copa del Rey. German
one of their
Cup.
standout performers in Real Madrid when he was there as well.
That's right.
Yeah, but my issue with it is he never became the player they expected him to be at Real Madrid. He never became the world beater.
But do you think that's because Arsenal bought him at the time they did? Like,
but Arsenal bought him because Real Madrid were happy for him to leave.
But
that's
that
like
wasn't
saying,
it when
that's
Rodriguez
like saying Arsenal are going to go and sign.
But wasn't that when James Rodriguez signed for?
Sure, I'm not saying Real Madrid made the right decisions, but I'm saying that's like saying, I don't know, Chelsea are going to sign Kylian Mbappe in the summer. Real Madrid are not letting him go because he's a world beater. If Ozil was a world beater, he wouldn't have left Real Madrid.
Yeah.
No, and he was never a world beater at an Arsenal team that were, do you know what I mean, sort of top 6 hunted.
Yeah. He never hit his peak consistently. I think that's what I think it is. That between the other two did. Like, and then when they were at their peak, they were one of the best players in the position. Yeah. So nice try.
What you could argue was maybe Arsenal. What you could say was that Ozil at Arsenal was better than Kevin De Bruyne was at Chelsea, and then Modric was at Spurs. You could say that for sure.
Sure.
But yeah, not what he said.
Not prime, no.
Do you know how I describe Ozil? It's like, do you know when you go into a pub and you see a really cool looking IPA and you go, oh, I'll have a bit of that, and it tastes amazing, right? It's one of the best things you've ever had. you don't drink it consistently. But when you drunk it, it was damn good. That's Ozil to me, because when he was on form, right? When he was on, he's good at it.
I'm just about with you there on that one.
When he was playing well, he was one of the most entertaining footballers to watch. He's the style, the class. I mean, we can all remember some of those assists and fake outs and finishes. Incredible footballer, looks amazing on a YouTube video. Realistically, not a world beater in a top team.
His best moment, for me as a football fan, the best moment I ever remember was his goal against Ludogorets. Is it Ludogorets?
The one where he dribbles past like six, he dribbles past the same defense and then he loops it over. That was
exactly. That was it. Yeah.
Really nice.
But we'll move on from that.
Interesting for start.
He
won 4 FA Cups at Arsenal.
Yeah, they went on. They won weren't they all in a row as well? Or 3 of them were in a row, I think.
Because if I'm right in thinking, he was still there when Arteta was manager.
No, surely not. Surely not.
Oh yeah, he was. That was the whole thing, wasn't it?
Was he actually?
Ozil? Yeah, I think that whole debate.
He was there.
It was one of his first big decisions, wasn't he? Like, Mikel Arteta was like, you say, well, what are you going to do with Ozil? And he's like, basically dropped him and said, well,
I thought he was gone ages.
Like, it feels like a long time ago, but I remember.
Where did he go after that? He went to Turkey after that, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Fenerbahce.
Had some major injuries as well, and then obviously retired in 2023.
Great player, also. Great player.
Fair enough. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one, and I love the use the tag for this one. So well done for the tag. The guy put this. Everybody loves Chris. Is it this one's from? So his one is Neymar's reason for leaving Barcelona was justified. He chose the wrong club, though. What do we think?
What other club could afford his very opulent lifestyle and demands?
I think the more the question is, he should never have gone to France. I think he should have gone to either the Premier League or the Bundesliga.
I can't see him doing much in the Premier League. Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, I mean, the reason he left PSG, wasn't it, is that he wasn't the star anymore. When Messi came in, he didn't want to be.
Messi's shadow.
Exactly. Yeah, he wanted to win the Ballon d'Or because the Ballon d'Or is a huge thing for South American players, particularly. That's what he wanted to do. Well, what did he do at PSG? He didn't do a whole lot, did he? He won the Ligue 1 a couple of times, didn't win the Champions League. He was injured quite a lot of the time. He had a very lavish, very affluent lifestyle. His infamous birthday parties and stuff like that. Was it the most expensive? I think it's to this day still the most expensive transfer, 200 million.
Basically it destroyed the transfer window because basically ever since
it destroyed the market. Exactly.
Because all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, we can bid 200 million for players now, and then all of a sudden it just became a thing.
Where could he have gone though? What was the statement again there, Matt? He went to the wrong club, basically, was it?
So Neymar's reason for leaving Barcelona was justified. I think everyone would agree with that.
Justified, I agree.
He chose the wrong club. That's what he's saying. He chose the wrong club.
Well, I don't think it was a case of him choosing. I think it might, if I remember correctly, I think it was a case that PSG got wind that Neymar wasn't particularly happy, and they came in and said, "We will give you 200 million quid, and we will give you the world and more to come and join our club because we need another superstar at our team since Zlatan left." So but I don't think it was a case that.
In 2017, there was only one team that was buying Neymar that could afford him, and that was PSG.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what they said at the beginning. It's like, what other team could afford? Yeah.
Tell you where he would have been great. Somewhere like Bayern Munich. He'd have been great there. He would have been really good. But
why not?
Bayern Munich weren't paying £200 million for a player. That's not happening.
But in the nicest way, the only club I'd argue with is Man City. Only one.
No. But the thing is, he wasn't worth 200 million. I think PSG offered 200 million.
They did offer 200 million.
I think because they have bottomless wealth, they just went way over the top and just said, "We'll give you this much."
He came off his best season, didn't he? Did he come off his best season? I think it was the best season for Barcelona.
Oh yeah, because he scored them. He had that man of the match performance against PSG, didn't he?
Yeah.
In that game where they turned it
Even
around.
though Messi got all the plaudits, I think that might have been the beginning of Neymar thinking, I need to get out of here, because he did have that second leg against PSG in the Camp Nou. He had one of his best ever games for Barcelona, if not his best. But Messi kind of got all the plaudits for it. But Neymar scored a free kick. He assisted the last goal. He had a fantastic game, but I think Messi was the one. Do you remember the photo ops out? All the photos that were released afterwards was Messi, being lifted up by his teammates, and he was the front and center basically. But Neymar kind of was put on the back burner, which was unfair. But that certainly was the beginning of the end for him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bayern Munich's a good shout.
The reason I was trying to say, you said about City, Matt. No, absolutely not, because there's no way the lavish Neymar succeeds under Pep Guardiola. It just doesn't happen.
No, I totally disagree with that.
Can you tell me what skillful, tricky wingers have done amazing work under Pep Guardiola at City?
Messi. I don't.
No, at City.
Messi. Oh, at
City. Sterling has probably been. They've had like players like Jesus Navas. They've had some stinky players.
I don't think he's actually going to work at City because obviously Pep needs.
Like he's never had a player like Neymar. The best player he's had at City, he's never brought in himself, is Haaland.
Yeah, but you're looking at attitude though. I think that's the problem. Like he wouldn't have worked under Pep because Pep's like a manager that likes a player.
Yeah, I agree with that. The attitude thing. Yeah, I think that would.
I don't know if Neymar's attitude was ever that poor on the pitch though on match days. I mean, we all know about his lifestyle outside of football and all the rest of it. But I think on the pitch, typically he was. I mean, I watched a good few. I watched his. I remember watching his debut for PSG against Ganga, and he played really well. And I watched a couple of his games for PSG. He did play; he was really well. Now he was playing in basically a farmers' league, so he could kind of do his tricks and kind of do his YouTube highlight clip reel thingies, that kind of thing. He did play; he was reasonably well. The thing is, he was injured a lot, and he
I think
he took up back pages in terms of his birthday parties and more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the league he was in as well. Because obviously, you think about as you said, where was the French league? It's probably like fifth or sixth, or probably gone down now because of the quality of it over the last couple of years of PSG basically winning it all the time. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see if you look it up. When was it has there been a player that played in the league, the French league that's won the Ballon d'Or?
I mean, there would that.
There probably is
years ago, but not in modern football.
Is that what? Sorry, what was that person's name again, Matt?
What the guy that put
they put the question in. Yeah,
I'm guessing
everybody
Chris.
loves Chris.
Everybody loves Chris. So if everybody loves Chris is he saying he chose the wrong club? Would he think the same way if Neymar had won the Champions League with PSG? Is it just purely the fact that he underperformed?
That is a very good point.
Did he underachieve at PSG? Is that what he's saying? If you won two Champions Leagues at PSG, could you say, have all the parties you want, mate?
I think some of it is at the moment he's still playing, obviously, right? And he is playing currently in Brazil.
He's in Brazil,
Santos,
right? Yeah.
And he's been in Saudi Arabia. Club, He's let's be honest, from a footballing point of view, fallen off the face of the earth, so to speak. And I think people probably thought at this stage we'd be talking about one of, the top 10 footballers ever. That's how good he could have been, but
yeah,
sorry, maybe the best, or basically one of the best up there with the best Brazilian strikers in history. That was the potential.
We'd be putting him in the same bracket as Ronaldinho if he'd have lived up to his potential. But
he was. I don't know if he still is, but I mean, like in his pomp when he played for Brazil, he was like Jesus to them. I mean, he was just so idolized and venerated for them. And I mean, that World Cup in 2014. It's just he was there. He was their king. Do you know what I mean? Like he was just so idolized and adored. I think. I'm kind of disappointed for him that he didn't win a World Cup with Brazil more than anything else, to be honest, because I think that's where he would have almost like fulfilled what he was born to do almost, because I think he's more idolized in Brazil than he was at PSG or Barcelona or things like that.
I actually would go as far as to say, and I think this is a fair comparison. Obviously, he didn't do as much as one of the greatest strikers for Brazil in history, but I think we was robbed of one of the greatest players, like Carl says there, a bit like we was with Ronaldo. Like because of the injuries, it destroyed what could have been a unbelievable player.
I don't think you can say injuries with Neymar.
was just one bad.
Look,
It was just one, not a bad move.
Did have
but
a
one
few in
move that-
fairness.
he never had.
did.
Very fragile.
I also think I don't think it is just injuries. I do think it is like
Yeah.
Oh god! You know what I just remembered about Neymar was his antics. Was his bloody rolling around on the pitch every 2 minutes. I just remember that about him as well. That didn't paint him in the nicest. But I hated that.
It's one of those. It's an interesting one. I think there's a lot of
It is.
yes and no's with that. I think it is all
It's
about
an
like
interesting
It's
what
like wrong
if.
club. If they won a Champions League, maybe not. You know.
It's an interesting what if to think if Neymar stayed at Barcelona or perhaps went to, as I said, a Bayern Munich or maybe even an Inter Milan or something like that. Be interesting to see what would have happened. Even City would have been really interesting. I don't think he would have succeeded, but they're interesting what ifs.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, the next one I've got here, and the person was like, don't put my name. So I don't because he's
we've got Anon coming in with a question.
He's I think he's a City fan because of the player that he's put here, but I think it is a fair statement. Edin Dzeko is the most underrated striker of all time.
All time. I don't know.
Stop with this all time.
All time is a bit of a stretch, but I agree. I do think he is underrated. He is underrated. You know, with that header. I mean, one of the most forgotten goals in history because of the goal that came after it. That the subsequent goal, the Aguero goal against QPR. The equaliser wasn't Dzeko, and it was a good bloody header as well. But yeah, he was good. He was good.
Was he like top scorer the 13th when they won the league 13-14? Like I think it was like I think I remember
was yes
because in that season
he was on my fantasy team a lot. I remember that anyway.
Wait, did you say 13-14?
Yeah,
that's when they won the league.
I've got a feeling it was Yaya Toure was their top scorer, but then obviously Lord Luis
Suarez.
You
might be wrong.
I think you mean the first time they won the league.
What 2011-12?
Yeah,
I think Torre was 13-14. Yeah.
Well, I remember the debate because obviously we're all at we were two for when we were at university. It's just like that was like everyone. I think everyone was like talking about was it Suarez and all the bell was like, well, Dzeko's the top scorer. Like he's the guy that's probably helped City win that league, and it's just no one was talking about him. So and actually he's done quite well in other leagues, to be honest.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't think people talk about his longevity enough. I mean, he had that spell at Wolfsburg before City. So I'm just looking at it, right? 66 goals in 111 games over 4 years. Did well at City.
That's really good.
50 goals in 130. Went to Roma on loan originally and then had another. So he spent 6 years at Roma altogether. Scored nearly 90 goals in 190 games or something like that. Went to Inter Milan, 22 in 69. Fenerbahce, 35 in 71. And now he's back in Serie A at Fiorentina. He's played at
He's a consistent goal scorer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And he's got adaptability doing it in separate leagues. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Great striker.
I mean, of all times, so hard.
How old is he now?
39. 39 years old.
I would have guessed 37.
But of all time is so that's where the opinion falls off a cliff.
Yeah, all time I don't know.
So hard. So, you could throw. And it sounds daft. You could throw Olivier Giroud in that sort of underrated striker.
I was thinking of that. Yeah,
similar vein. His longevity, done it in multiple leagues. Would you say Dzeko is more than Giroud? It just depends on the person.
Nicholas
really.
There's so many you could throw in there. It's a joke.
Yeah.
So,
but is he incredibly underrated? Yes, I agree.
Yes. Yeah. Underrated. I would say that is.
Yeah, it's heavily underrated.
So
absolutely.
I was like,
I mean, to be fair though, like when it comes to it, like when we talk about everyone saying all time, it's like we've got to blame one person for that. We've got to blame Matt for that because he was the one that said. But he brought up all time with the Suarez.
Did he say all time with Suarez? Oh, right. I thought he just said Premier League.
This wasn't a non. This wasn't a non, was it?
No, this certainly wasn't a non.
Smells of Matt Downey.
No, I don't rate City players that highly. Moving on to another City player, and this is from Stuart in Birmingham. This one.
When did you come by me, Stu?
I know.
Sorry, mate. It was just a one-time visit, and I just saw and I thought, I put a question in, but just sneak
didn't even call.
Well, this makes me think of Stu because it is a former Liverpool player I am speaking about here as well.
Okay.
Raheem Sterling is a better player than Vinicius Junior will ever be?
Oh, that's
Where was Sterling at his best? It was at City, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was quite good at Liverpool for a bit. But so let's talk. So if we can all agree when Sterling was at his pomp at his best, it was probably at City, right? The first couple of seasons at City. So
when they had like a not unbeaten season but near unbeaten season.
Exactly. Yeah. And he was really good, and he scored a rake of goals.
Season when they I think they got a century of points.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
The thing is, Vinicius Junior has kind of fallen away at Real Madrid now, and there are kind of rumors starting to speculate that he might not be happy there. So, and I don't know. I don't know what his stats are this season, but I don't think they're that great.
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of rumors coming out of Real Madrid these days. We're talking about
that's a good one.
I know it's like because a lot of them they're all talking about Xabi Alonso's on his way out, so I got a lot of rumors coming out, and it's. But
I think that's the thing about Madrid, though. Like literally, they lose a game or they don't perform how you want them to, and then straight away they're on you like a rash.
Well,
the Spanish media are ruthless, though.
Particularly, they've had 3 draws in the last 3 games.
Yeah,
3 draws in La Liga, and all of a sudden it's like crisis talks. The manager should leave. It's like calm down, but again, expectation. But I would probably. I don't know, because obviously you can say consistent. Like how long was it? See, I think it's like was it? How long was
6 years?
And how long was obviously how? I mean, obviously we're not saying everyone's got that on top of the head, but Vinicius Junior, but like it's only picked up the last 2
5 years. I don't know.
Well, it's only been the last 2,
3. Yeah, 2 or 3, is it, or something?
No,
it's only been last.
A bit longer than that.
I think he is great. He is great, and he was up for a
He joined Real in 2018 as a youngster.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it must have been in the first team for about 2 years now, maybe a little bit more.
I think it depends on what you debate as what makes a player better than the other. You could say skill wise, Vinicius Junior is a better player. Do you know what I mean? In terms of get the ball at his feet, Vinicius Junior is probably a better player, but in terms of mental attributes, determination, hard work,
consistency,
you would probably go Sterling.
Trophy return.
If you went trophy return, I think you give it to Vinicius Junior already. He's won 2 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Although I think Sterling's won 3 Premier Leagues.
Sterling never won a Champions League. He won 4 Premier Leagues.
They were in a final.
They're in a final. He's won 4 Premier Leagues, but you could say Vinicius Junior's won 3 La Ligas. So it's
how impactful was Vinicius Junior in those finals, though? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think that's what tips me towards Vinicius Junior, because it's like you sit there. If you took that Sterling out of that City side, that's still like there's still
he was good for them though, and but really liked him.
But I don't think they would fall off a cliff. But I think it was Vinicius Junior, like when they're having when they didn't have a striker and they were playing he was the player that stepped up.
Yeah.
So I would sit there and say just by impact on team, I would say he's better. But sort of,
But I think people underestimate how good Sterling was for England as well. 20 goals in his England career. Which is quite
and important goals in big. You think of the game against Germany, other goals as well. Yeah. Vinicius Junior, I don't think he's done much for him.
Was his tournament. People, I think, probably underestimate that. But Euro 2020, goals against Croatia, basically, he won the game against Croatia, won the game against Czech Republic, and set England on their way against Germany.
Considering, do you remember there was a big media storm? Well, not a storm, but do you remember? I think it was before that tournament. There was some silly story in some tabloid paper in the UK
the Daily Mail
about
hates him. The Daily Mail.
He got some tattoo on his leg, and they attacked him for it. They said there's some bullshit
machine gun
kind of thing.
It
was a gun or something because his father had been killed. It was something like that. But some tabloid went after him for that, and that was like days before the tournament.
What they do,
and he had another. I know. Yeah, and alternatively or similarly, Vinicius Junior has been on the receiving end of some horrendous racist abuse in Spain as well. So they've both had that kind of pressure on top of them as well. So I suppose that's one comparison too. But
I do think
it's a tough one though.
They're a super interesting comparison that I would never have put together, but I think they're very similar in a lot of ways. And I do wonder. I feel like Vinicius Junior should look at Raheem Sterling's career as a bit of a warning, because it's where Vinicius Junior could end up heading. Do you know what I mean? Once he decides to leave Real Madrid because he's falling out with the manager and he ends up playing Fenerbahce, Saudi Arabia, and just not playing anymore. Which is what's happened to Sterling. When realistically, Raheem Sterling should still be a top Premier League player. He's 30 years of age.
Here's a quick one for Sterling. And I don't know if this is true or not, but is Sterling the only player to play for 4 of the 6 big teams in the Premier League?
Daniel Sturridge? No, he played for 3. He played for 3 of them.
Yeah, he didn't play for City.
There are probably others further back.
Yeah,
probably.
An interesting stat I've just come across with Sterling, right? He is the current all-time English top assist provider in the Champions League.
Really?
23 assists.
That's Raheem Sterling.
Raheem Sterling.
Is it like who's the club? Just curious, who's the club? Obviously, if you've got that information, club.
I don't have that.
That was Gerrard.
Oh, he's got top. Well, okay, fair enough.
Let me find. Hang on.
That's a good stat. Wow.
One thing I would argue in favour of Vinicius Junior is this as well. I think it was the season they won the Champions League against Liverpool, but all the way to the final, he was instrumental in every single one of their knockout games.
He has been great.
It was the same season. Karim Benzema scored those, he went on a crazy one where he just seemed to score against everyone. Vinicius Junior was instrumental in that too.
Wasn't that City one? I can't remember. I'm sure it was a game. I think it was like City were looking like they're on the verge of winning it, and then all of a sudden, PSG,
Man City, Chelsea, and then he played against you guys in the final.
I remember the City one because it's like I think it was that we were all like, oh, City are going to get through, they're going to win, and all of a sudden it's just like,
the 2 goals and the
Vinicius Junior was like, nah. I think I'm just going to win this.
I think it was Rodrigo. No, I think it was Rodrigo who got the goals in that.
Oh yeah,
City.
Rodrigo. Yeah.
It wasn't Vinicius. If I remember correctly.
Update on the assists. So Vinicius Junior has more than him anyway at 27. So that kind of answered that bit.
And he came closer to a Ballon d'Or.
And he came closer to a Ballon d'Or. Dani Alves has more than them as well. Which
did
he
turn up to the Ballon d'Or?
Let's not.
Oh yeah, I think that's more Real Madrid's behaviour as opposed to the whole of Real Madrid's just didn't show up as you babies.
They didn't show up this year, did they?
No. So Sterling
they had a match,
is still the highest English assist maker in the Champions League. Second is Frank Lampard with 22, and third is Wayne Rooney with 21. But I did want to point out, because this is going to wind
Steven Gerrard's overrated
so much. Matt,
don't even try that. Don't even try that.
On the Champions League assist stats on the official Champions League website, on the official UEFA website, what club do you reckon they put Frank Lampard under?
Man City.
Man City.
Well, that was the last Premier League team he played for, so that stands to reason. Yeah.
Irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant.
Did I miss something in his Champions League campaign? Did he have a welding and scored 20? Obviously, I know he didn't, but 20, 24, 22 assists in a year, half a year. But
I don't know.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that one though. I think that's the one that's the closest one yet where we've all been like, I don't know.
It's good debate. Give us something monstrous, Matt. You can do this.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to aim this one because Jacob from Inverness.
Oh, Jacob.
Is asking David.
Yes.
Oh no, David.
Do
you think Ruben Amorim can make it work at Man United?
It's a good question. Thanks, Jacob. If you had asked me before the win at Sunderland, I think myself, as well as pretty much every other United fan, would have said there's no chance he makes it beyond Christmas. I still think there's a lot of things to work out in the team. Obviously, the win at Crystal Palace was very good for us, particularly. But the thing is with this United side, and again, it's not just Amorim, it's every manager since Ferguson has had this problem with inconsistency with United, with performances. Because, very recently, that we spoke briefly about that horrendous loss against Everton, against 10 men, and then they go to one of the best performing teams in the league away and win. So it's difficult to say whether or not he can make it work long term, although when United have looked good this season, they've looked very, very good. So if we could just get more of that and possibly get Amorim to another transfer window and get out some more of the dead weight, there's every chance, but it's just all about getting the consistency.
I think that's the way you've got to look at it, right? Because every transfer window Amarin's had now, he's improved the team. The team have improved each time.
Well, I mean, like, when he came in to about 5 or 6 weeks ago, that was 2 transfer windows, 300 million spent, and they looked worse. So it's only and then after that,
this season they've looked better than last season. Let's be fair, they have looked better than last season.
They've looked a lot more.
Still inconsistent.
There's been some shockers this season. No, yeah, I agree, but there has been some, particularly early season, some absolute shockers. But
how many won 6 of the last? Was it? Because we had that unbeaten 1 for 5. Then obviously the Everton one was it was horrible. But I mean, but obviously you got the going to Palace is getting a win there. There's nothing to be sniffed at, to be honest. Just like that.
Exactly.
That's a great win. I mean, but
but there's been moments with every manager since Ferguson where there's been a point where fans will have thought this can work, this might work, this might actually be our new long-term manager to be there for the next 10 years. There's been that moment with every manager since Ferguson. I don't think United fans, including myself, are still fully convinced by Amarim. Again, I'm in no way concerned about United at the moment, obviously given the recent good form, but there are still issues with the team. Not necessarily so much with the formation, but I think with personnel. And players out as well as in. But I like the question.
Just curiously, if we're going to just get who do you think, not like players, but position, what do you think is the main position you should go for on January?
I think we need, well, I was going to say midfield, but I think we've got players like Mainu, who is ideal for, he's just a great player, but Amarim just doesn't seem to like him, which is kind of annoying. Dorgu looked good at first, but I'm not really convinced by him anymore. It might just be recency bias because he was so poor against our Everton the other day. I am really not too sure about Sesko either. I think we need a top striker. I think we've got basically. I mean, Cunha's okay, but I mean, we've got Mbembo. You know, we've got world class kind of players around that position, but I think we need a world class striker up top as well, and maybe another midfielder for good measure. We've sorted out the goalkeeping position. That's one thing I will say. Before we got Lamens in, that I would have said that was the number one thing we need to kind of consider and kind of sort out. But we got Lamens, so that's good, and maybe another right back as well.
Just the whole team, basically.
Just the whole team. Just the whole team. But
the dressing room, the stadium, anything more. Car park. Let's sort that out while we're.
How did I do, guys? My first fan question. How did I do? Is that all right?
The stadium does need work. To be fair, the stadium.
The stadium's a kip, and
We'll move on to the next one, which is from Will in Dublin. We've got here. He says without.
What's the crack?
So he says without Harry Kane, Heung-min Son would be nothing at Spurs.
He would have been nothing. Well, they did pair up so well. They did pair up so well. I'm not saying, but I don't. To say that he would have been nothing is.
That is just like.
I don't know. I don't know about that, Will, lad. I don't know about that one, buddy.
Was Heung-min Son a better player playing with Harry Kane? Yeah, 100%. Was he still not a very good player when Harry Kane wasn't playing? Yes, of course. What a stupid thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's my Dublin brother, mate. Easy.
He's drunk too much Guinness.
It's because he said nothing. Like the idea, if he just said he was a less, he was. Do you
think it's the wording of the question that could have done a bit of
it's
editing?
like just said, basically, without Harry Kane, he's nothing. He is no.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a.
That's like.
It's like saying without Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs would have been nothing. Do you know what I mean? Or any of that class of '92, you take one out and the rest are all nothing. They're all clearly all very good Premier League footballers, as Heung-min Son was.
I think it's just the wording of the question that needs a little bit of sorting out.
Well, the only one argument I have for
don't.
No. The one argument I have why Son was a success without Kane being there, he won a Golden Boot.
Yeah.
He won a Golden Boot. If you win a Golden Boot, 9 times out of 10, you're a pretty good player.
But you've got to remember, apparently, every goal that he's ever scored for Tottenham, he stood on the goal line and Harry Kane did all the work and he just sort of went, oh, thank you, bump, goal.
Yeah. But
took all the plaudits.
By the way, can I just say that I love how I was making my point, and straight away Carl was like, "No." It's like he knew I was going to say something. I weren't. Like,
That question's just
bacon,
frazzled him.
Carl.
He doesn't have to act anymore. He can't act in a mannerly way anymore. He's
Come
just,
on.
I know we ask for unpopular opinions, but why are people like switching their brains off? What's going on? Jesus.
Anyway,
that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Is that the beauty of it? Because you're switching your
I'm
brains.
baiting for you, Will. Don't worry. I'm baiting.
We're going to move on then. So this one is from Alice in Fleetwood. N'Golo Kante is the best centre defensive midfielder in Premier League history in his prime.
Arguable. You would say top 3, top 4,
so hang
maybe.
on. She has said this. What he done at Leicester City is nothing short of the best thing a player's done for a football club. And then he followed it up by moving to Chelsea and being the best player once again.
I mean, he certainly had the best short-term run
right?
of a player. Yeah. And then the World Cup.
And then the Champions League in
that's right.
2021.
Yeah. I think sorry, Shu, you go ahead.
No, I was just kind of thinking if you said, was it the best defensive midfielder in history?
Didn't she say one of the? She said one of the best. She said one of the best, didn't she?
Okay, just about to say if you said the best,
No,
sitting there saying,
she did say the best.
Oh, did she? Ooh.
Yeah, she's lost me there.
What's the idea that you don't?
One of
100%.
You throw in Roy Keane. You throw in
Roy Keane,
Patrick
Vieira. Yeah.
Makelele.
Literally got a role named after him because he was that good at position. Like
Rodri as well.
Makelele role.
Rodri.
I don't know.
I think she's nearly there. I think she's nearly there. I think what Leicester did. I think what Leicester did as a whole that season could arguably be the best thing that any team's ever done in the Premier League era. I think that could be an arguable point.
Sure.
But again, there's a lot of Keane, Vieira. I think there's just a little bit too many players just ahead of N'Golo Kante, and these are players who did it long term as well and won multiple trophies. As you know,
yeah, I think he would be. He's definitely in the argument for one of, but the
100%.
No.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
Not the,
I mean, but basically, she may as well say that Jamie Vardy was the best Premier League striker ever because when he was he had that amazing season.
There was
look, I mean, but it's one of those. I mean, I assume she supports Leicester, or maybe not. But you could, if you're a staunch Leicester City fan, you could stand there and say, "What N'Golo Kante?" You'd say, "Like, well, okay, well, look, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to convince you otherwise, am I?" You know, it's one of those where you can, okay, well, look, think what you think.
He's in the top 10, maybe even top 5.
I would put him in top.
Maybe
4 or 5. Top 5, I think.
But I'll say this, Alex.
Who would be your top 5?
It's not the worst opinion we've had on this podcast, if it helps. It's not the worst.
No, I think we had that about 5-10 minutes ago. Anyway, but we'll move on to the next one, and this is the last opinion one we've got on here, and I think that we might see David's camera break in a sec. So I will
no.
for pre-warning.
No.
I'll try. I'll do my best to restrain myself.
Okay, right. Eric Cantona is the most overrated Premier League player ever.
What's with the ever?
Ever. Where is the ever coming from? I don't understand the ever.
Now, hang on. You look at his record at Manchester United, and it's no better than some of the average players who have been at Manchester United over the years. His influence on English football is the biggest, but that has overshone how good.
I'd almost agree in that point, though, because I mean, he wasn't scoring 30-40 goals a season. He wasn't one of our most, but his influence on that side, he was one of the most important players in Man United's history. I would argue. But ever, I don't know, overrated ever. I mean, is a bit silly. If you're speaking purely stats wise and goal to matches return, fair enough. But I mean, I think Cantona is one of the most iconic players, not just in Man United's history, but in Premier League history.
It's the same argument they use for. Yeah, it's the same argument people use when they want to play down Didier Drogba. It's like, well, his stats are not as good, but it's like. The kind of goals he scored, it's like Eric Cantona maybe, but he was kind of the first player in the Premier League to kind of like
super. One of the first exactly. He was one of the first real superstars.
Would the Premier League
at the beginning of an unbelievable era for that club, that player.
Yeah. Man United, but would the Premier League in general, like the league, would be where it is now if we didn't have Eric Cantona?
Exactly.
In that first couple of
I think
seasons.
this is another argument you can make as well, and I hate to say this, Ryan from Aldershot, who it is actually from. I think the statement for me stinks of, you look at stats, you weren't around when the player was there. And for me, you got to think, he came from a Leeds United team who were quite successful in the late 80s to early 90s.
Well, they stole
Cantona wasn't part of that. Cantona wasn't part of Leeds United.
Well, yeah, but he was at the end of it, and he was, he came to a Man United team and turned them into champions.
Sure,
he turned them. I would say that's like that for me.
He got the 2 leagues in a row.
And he shaped the Premier League. I think without him, he would have got
100%. And it's so what a character to
Premier League.
Yeah, and I don't like the kind of when people try to mar his kind of, the things he did, and particularly the fan of Crystal Palace, all that kind of stuff. I mean, like, I'm sorry that there are things that players did in the 90s on the pitch that were probably not as bad as that, you could say. But I mean, like, there was a lot of dodgy stuff going on in pitches back in the 90s, mate. It's not that bad. But
it was a
most overrated striker ever. I'm sorry.
It was a product of his time, though, right? And there's so many of these sort of questions we never really answer. You put Cantona in the treble winning team or the 07-08 sort of team with Ronaldo and everyone else. Does he compare? Maybe not, but we'll never be able to answer that because he was such a great player for his time.
Yeah, we talk about influence in the dressing room. People might say, well, how did you know? But there are so many players, particularly that class of 92 team and Roy Keane, who constantly are talking about in interviews and on their podcasts or whatever, saying like Cantona was the man in the dressing room. We looked up to him. He was so influential.
Were they all shocked when he decided to retire? Like how early he did? Because obviously just like kind of they
95 wasn't it, or 96 he retired?
I think it was 96.
It sounded like he just like basically retired. Everyone's like, what are you doing? Like you're still kind of in his prime in a way, but like
he retired at his peak in a way. Like
I just like no. I think that's no. That's I 100% disagree with that opinion. That's not.
Wow.
I think.
A Man United player and Stuart.
Well, that just tells you how dodgy an opinion that is.
I think it was because I read a book called The Mixer, where basically talking about like tactical changes.
That's Jonathan Wilson, isn't it?
Yeah. I read that book, and ever since, and there's part of that when he talks about like Eric Cantona if he wasn't in there, like. So reading that, I think that's kind of informed my opinion. Like,
I do personally think he is slightly overrated, if I'm honest. I think, yes, he was a product of his time, and at the time he was one of the
influence on
Premier League's
English
best.
football was bigger than the actual talent he brought.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm thinking.
Although one of my sorry,
you look at players like he's not in Thierry Henry's league, realistically.
No,
he's just not. But he's talked about in
terms of prolific goal
scoring,
certainly not. Yeah.
In terms of talent, in a way, if I'm really honest, but he's talked about it in the same way. His impact on the Premier League, probably the same as Henry's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not on pitch talent.
Yeah. Would you put it on par with? I know it's not a footballer, but would you put his influence on the Premier League on par with Arsene Wenger?
More than Arsene Wenger's.
Yeah.
Well, Wenger's more sort of kind of style.
Well, again, would you've got the concept of a forward you come to the Premier League if it wasn't for like someone like Eric Cantona.
And he came from Japan as well. You're like, who is this guy? Like,
I know it's like.
Wenger had a huge impact, but Cantona was the first character, the first real shithouse.
He scored what he did. One of my favorite goal/celebration where he got the chip against Sunderland, and his celebration where he just like. Yes. I love that.
The Premier League doesn't become the phenomenon that it was with the money that it has pumped into it without Cantona in those first few years. It falls on its face.
So basically, what we're saying is basically, the person should read the Mixer because basically basically read that book and you'll be
and then you could be on my level. Yeah.
You pay delivery.
Again, though,
right.
it's an interesting opinion.
Interesting.
It's how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's how you look
Absolutely.
at it.
It's the constant thing of like ever. I mean, I know I can't say
Yeah,
much, but
ever
To be
is-
fair,
but
you
it's
started
the
the
thing of
trend, to be fair.
ever.
So
If you
it's
said like
Anyway,
of the 90s
carry
or of the
on.
Premier League, you're like, well, yeah. Even there,
well,
even still.
we've only got a few more, and thankfully,
Okay.
these last few, it's the last few here. So
A few more
this one
errors.
is from Ben in Nottingham. I think he's a Nottingham fan as well. It's a question.
They're gonna
If
hate you
Sean
for saying
Dyche-
Nottingham like that. They're gonna hate you so much.
Oh yeah. Nottingham.
County or
About that. It just says
Well,
I
not.
have to get relegated. You can't like me.
Sorry, Carl.
Well,
They didn't give me their zip code.
I put them to get relegated last season, so I guess we're just no one likes us and not.
So
Yeah.
if Sean Dyche gets Nottingham Forest into Europe, from the position that he
From
took
here.
hang on. From
Sorry.
the position that he took over, is that a better achievement than Nuno last season with the club?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why.
Look how bad they are. If they get into Europe now, that would be one of the most unbelievable turnarounds for a team in a single season ever.
But it's not happening. Do you know what I mean? It's just not.
It's not bloody happening.
No.
But I mean, it's not bloody happening. They're getting relegated, like I said. But
the equivalent of that is us saying,
they-
what if Arteta gets Arsenal relegated this season? Will it be the worst managerial performance ever? Well, yeah, obviously.
no, that would be funny.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So that was a very quick one, but we're going to finish off with Sam from Cardiff, who has done 4. We originally put 5, but but because there's 4 of us on the podcast, I thought we'd just do 4. Start, bench, and sell.
I love these. I'm so good at these.
Wait,
I am ruthless.
Wait, have we got one each?
You're so quick as well. You're so quick. You just basically like all of us think you're just like now.
Obviously, I'll be honest. Obviously, I've had a bit of a think about my one.
Okay.
So but you haven't. So none of them are Chelsea related. Actually, some of them are actually really interesting. I thought.
Any United ones?
We're going to start with.
Liverpool in there somewhere.
I'm going to give the first one to Kyle.
Right.
So, start, bench, sell.
Yeah.
Vitinha. Bellingham.
Yeah.
Pedri.
It's not that difficult actually. Start Bellingham. Bench Vitinha. Sell Pedri. Personally.
Okay. Do you think Pedri's overrated then?
I might have benched Pedri.
I think he's a very good footballer, but he's not going to have the career that the other two are going to have.
Yeah, true.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Where is
Vitinha
Vitinha
at PSG.
Yeah, PSG.
PSG.
Pedri's Barca, Bellingham's favourite.
Yeah.
Also, Pedri's had some serious injuries from a young part of his career, so
yeah,
he is
still out. So good though.
He is.
I reckon there's a lot of people who would have benched Bellingham, to be honest.
No,
I think a lot of people would have started Pedri and then sold Vitinha.
And I hate saying it because he's come through the Birmingham
maybe a couple of years
Academy.
ago he might have, but I don't think now if you look at it now.
Yeah,
I think he's the best English player.
I mean, I wouldn't, but yeah,
I'll be honest,
think a lot of people would.
Pedri top of that would have been very strange. I think it's between Vitinha and Bellingham. I do agree with that between them two.
I mean, if you'd asked me in the summer, maybe Vitinha would have been top after what he did with PSG in the winning the Champions League, but I don't know. Yeah. Bellingham's just got something a bit rogue about him that you want in your top players.
So what we're saying is that he doesn't get in because of his hat-trick the other day. Unacceptable behaviour, Carl. Unacceptable. We're going to give this one then to. Okay, I'm going to do next one. This because right. So the choices are Julius Caesar, the old Inter Milan keeper, Alisson, or Edison. Start, bench, sell.
There's one automatic sell. Anyway, sorry, I'll let you do it. Sorry.
That's difficult. That is. You gave me an easy one compared to that.
Yeah, I thought I thought
gave himself the hardest one.
Yeah, well, yeah, I thought I thought it'd be nice.
Well, is it actually? Is it hard?
So I would say Alisson for me is top.
We're saying all in their primes though.
Yeah,
of course.
Prime, like prime players. You got to be
Julius Caesar's like 45 there or something.
Yeah.
Instant sale, like
stick him back in.
No, I'd say Alisson starts for me. I think Alisson is arguably
Agree.
in the top goalkeepers in the Premier League era. But like, I would say Julio Cesar bench. I'm getting rid of Edison.
Ooh.
I've never personally been a huge advocate for Edison. I've always thought he's a decent keeper in a very good Man City side. I've always thought so. Yeah, I would say Edison is the one I'm selling out of
That's
those.
so harsh.
That
That's so.
that
I mean,
is
hard.
I think I
It is
agree
harsh,
with
but
the
true.
audit, but to say he's a decent keeper in a good City side is so harsh.
There's a bit. Yeah.
I mean, there was it was at debate for so long between the two. It was Alisson and Edison, wasn't it? Like, who was the better keeper?
But his distribution and his his ball control were, for me, miles better than his goalkeeping ever was.
Sure, but that's like saying Petr Cech was a decent keeper in a good Chelsea team.
Oh yeah, but Petr Cech is a goalkeeper. Petr Cech is a goalkeeper. That's the whole point of his.
I mean,
we're not arguing with that.
You might want to.
What do you want me to say?
You might want to check with Edison, but I'm pretty sure he's a goalkeeper as well.
Emi Martinez isn't a great player. Was it a sweeper keeper? But for me, I'm very old fashioned. I actually think that I would rather have a goalkeeper who isn't very good with their feet, but is sensational. I'd say.
But he was in goal for City when they won like 4 Premier Leagues.
Yeah, it's that's hard. Yeah, I think I agree with your selection, but that's the hardest one.
I think I'd probably bench Edison, to be honest.
So you would lose Julio Cesar.
you look at what Julio Cesar's.
No, I know it is tough, but
yeah. Look, I took the hard one, guys. Give me some slack. Agree with me.
That is a fairly took one for the team, did you?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can't agree with.
He dove in front of the bullet. Yeah, Mr. Brave. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, I'll tell you what. Make it interesting. Who wants to go next? Out of David and Stuart.
Do you want to go, Stu?
Yeah, I'll go for it. That's leave the.
Are there any Liverpool or Man United based ones here, or
the next one is Liverpool?
Okay.
Go
ahead.
So even if David said yes, he would have just said, "Well, Stuart's go next anyway."
Yeah.
Right.
Go on, Stu.
So
I actually think it'll be more interesting the other way around.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you want it? Okay. Well, I do the Liverpool one then.
Let's do it the other way.
All right.
Okay. Go on.
All right. Start bench still for David. Fernando Torres, Mohamed Salah, and Luis Suarez.
Right.
That's not fair.
Right.
So glad you
Sell Torres.
Do it.
Sell Torres.
Oh.
This is a tough. Who was it? Salah and Suarez. Start Salah, bench Suarez.
You bench Suarez.
Yeah.
Well, I have to bench someone.
I think
what
that's
a play to have
off the
bench. Well, think of it. What a play to have off the bench, though.
Yeah, but Salah's a better goal scorer than
Salah, in terms of stats, trophy return, trumps Suarez in every single department.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Suarez, but I mean that is the correct order. I'm sorry.
I wanted you to sell Suarez, so that would have been hilarious.
Yeah. What do you want, Stu? Am I right? Am I on the money with that? Or?
I don't disagree with that in a way, because obviously you got
Torres was amazing for Liverpool. Let me just preface it by saying that. I mean, yeah. But I think that's the right order.
And then we basically con Chelsea to give us a bit.
Although let's be fair, Nemanja still has nightmares about Fernando Torres even to this day.
He absolutely What was it? It was guaranteed. It was guaranteed between like Man United in that game. It was basically was it Torres would score and was it he would get sent off. It was if you were a betting man, you would just go that would be a perfect decent bet.
I think I'll be honest. As much as this may shock all of you here,
you would start Suarez.
But if I was fair, if you're doing this fairly, we've just said it's based on everyone's prime because they're all at Liverpool. You've got to base it on their time at Liverpool, in a way.
Yeah,
and if you do that, Salah does win. Salah does win. Then in that,
of course. I mean, that's the whatever. In fact, whatever way you think of it, I think that's the right order.
Is the question 3 biggest Liverpool legends, and it's still the same.
Exactly. Length of time at Liverpool, trophy return, goals. I bet it's
Suarez
is
absolutely not the best striker ever. But...
I bet everything would follow that.
Important he was that team.
Metric.
If it was similar, that it was 13-14. If he wasn't in that team, Liverpool would have been nowhere near challenging for. It's always had 2 good years, but even when they had that bit when. Well, I mean, amazing years, but even when we were almost close to Man United, we were not really involved in the title race. Well, so if you look at it from that perspective, Liverpool, I think, I don't disagree with that, to be honest. I mean,
I think that was an easy one, to be honest.
I love.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I wanted the harder one. Oh well, I'll leave Stu the weird one.
We look at Torres with like rose-tinted glasses in a way because he was very good for a couple of seasons, but realistically, he was a disappointment at Liverpool overall. Sorry, because
I think that's
he was a disappointment at Chelsea, but I don't think Liverpool. I think Liverpool's
because if he scored the same amount of goals, but then won the Premier League title in that time, then you sit there and go, he's
it's both maybes. It's both maybes.
They signed
his legs were starting to go when we sold him. Though that's the thing. I think that was the thing. Because even before Chelsea bought him, it was like you can start to see his kind of pace was starting to go.
He won the trophies at Chelsea. So that's what I'm saying.
I mean, to be fair, Liverpool
it was an open goal, but but I'm not,
That wasn't an open goal. He had to dribble past him. Yeah, it wasn't open.
Liverpool signed
we've seen him do the most important.
I was going to say they signed him after winning the Champions League. Then I think they had the season after as well, and then they signed him, right? But I think they signed him expecting that he would fire them to a league title, and realistically, he probably should have done. If we're really honest, that 08-09 season, Liverpool were very good. United ended up winning the league, but I
think they drew too many games, didn't they? There was a problem.
Possibly, but that's the season, isn't it? If he fires them to a title, we're having a different conversation.
Yeah, he'd go plus Suarez for sure, because Suarez never won a title. So.
But then like, one was if you go by that logic, it's true. Like Senegal was Mo Salah's won the Premier League.
Yes,
two Premier Leagues, Champions League, million goals.
And then Luis Suarez almost won the Liverpool Premier League.
Might as well.
If he did
he's on the bench now, though, isn't he? See you later, Salah.
I actually think this is probably one of the harder ones. So good luck, Stu.
All right, okay.
All the best.
Finish it off on this one. So you have got your start bench sell for Stuart is Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, or Kylian Mbappe.
I thought this was meant to be United.
They're not the same position, though.
This is the start bench sell.
Mbappe's like, oh well, fair enough.
I thought it was going to be a main. Apparently. Okay, so Mbappe, Kane, and Haaland.
I have mine anyway.
I have mine. I don't think people are going to agree, but I have mine.
I mean, I've got to say that just because of Haaland and what he is and what he become. You got to start Haaland, right? You guarantee goals.
Yeah.
You can't drop Kane.
Sure,
but then you can sit there and say I can't drop Mbappe. Like this is like where I can't.
No, you can.
I'd certainly be of the opinion that Kane is undroppable. Like I think he has to.
I can't. My opinion. I honestly think it's like the idea just by. I'm really tempted to put Kane's bench because obviously and then Mbappe you sell because.
Yeah, that's. I think that's. Yeah,
I don't think. As much as people consider him Mbappe, but he hasn't, except for maybe at PSG, he still has on and off. But like Kane is. Yeah.
In 5 years' time, we might have a different answer, but right now,
that's the right answer. I think.
Yeah,
that's the right order. We all gave our answers before Stu had a chance to give his. That's unfair. We should think of another one. We all just put it in like, yeah.
Sorry, Matt. Family
said it, and it was like, oh, I agree. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Matt. Did you say no? Are you benching Mbappe over Kane?
No, I'm selling Haaland.
Oh, shut up!
What?
What are you doing?
What are you on about? Selling Haaland? No, you're not selling Haaland. No, I won't let you.
The best.
What are you talking about? Selling Haaland? That's insane.
Was it at the Man City front door? You're just going to be standing at the door.
God.
Like, can't.
Mbappe, throughout his entire career, has produced like insane. He's won the World Cup.
World Cup, I'll give you that.
Because Haaland plays for Norway.
Hang on. Yeah, look, and he's done very well for Norway. Well done to him. But if you look at Harry Kane, well done.
No, that's mental, man. I'm sorry.
If you look at Harry Kane, for me, the only difference between him and Haaland is that Harry Kane went to a big club, like a trophy-winning club, too late.
You know
he
what?
would have won.
If you'd have said, I'm starting
I don't know.
Kane,
I don't know.
benching
I don't know.
Haaland, you know what? I may not agree, but I can see it.
I would see that.
Mbappe
I would
there
see
over
that.
Haaland
No,
is mental.
oh God, that's a mental one, Matt.
mental.
That's right up there with well, a lot of other things that you said over the.
I mean, doesn't it feel like
mental.
service
Have you not been watching City since Haaland has arrived? Like, what are you on about?
I can tell you now, right?
Oh my God.
If
Interesting.
City turned up at the Bernabeu, right, holding Haaland like this and said, "We'll give you this if you give us Mbappe," Real Madrid snapped their hands off. I can tell you that now.
No.
Yeah,
If
I
was ever
agree.
a sniff that they could get.
Haaland scores 40, 50 goals in that Real Madrid team.
They wouldn't snap hands off, but they'd certainly be like, yeah, go
I'd
on.
agree.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I mean, Haaland is that as well with Kane as well. Is that I feel like we go on this for a bit too much.
Yeah.
The thing is with Harry Kane is that there's so much to his game. There's so much to his game other than scoring as well. There's so much more to his
passing
game.
is unbelievable. His passing is better than Haaland's.
Yeah, his leadership is nothing sort of exceptional.
Yeah.
Haaland is the best finisher in world football.
In the world. Yeah.
In that 18-yard box. But the moment he comes outside the 18-yard box, I don't think he's actually as good.
You're deluded. I don't know what to say to you. That's
I don't know, Matt.
How many goals has Haaland scored from the outside of the box? How many goals?
Forget that. How many goals has he scored since he arrived at City? And even for Dortmund, he's the best. He's been the best striker. It's insane to sell him.
Physical presence.
It's insane to sell him.
Physical presence.
Can we not just point out that we have three of the, let's be honest, the best players from the last decade to choose from?
We all three of us agree on the order, though. You're the only one who's being mental.
We had three of the best players to choose from, but you've chosen wrong, Matt. You've chosen wrong. I'm sorry.
Hey, look, Matt. I like that you're standing by it, though. It's an interesting. Whatever it is, I don't even know what it is.
It's an interesting debate. That's what that
or
is.
just the ramblings of a madman. I don't know.
It's just good to know that after sensible kind of kind of good debating, it's nice to see we're all back to normal with some pretty I don't know what we call it.
After all that, thinking like, what are the fans going to have for us? There's going to be some mental ones, and then at the end of the day, one of our own turns around and says that. Love it. Love it.
But yeah. Obviously, please let us know any you have. We do love a good opinion, and as you've seen from this Unpopular Opinions episode, we will be honest with you. We will be honest with you.
If it helps, Matt, if it helps, I'll say this again. That wasn't even the most weirdest opinion on this podcast. So well done. You haven't been the most bonkers opinion on this podcast for once. It's pretty good work from you.
Yeah. Second most bonkers, yeah. Right, but yeah, take care, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave something in the comments for us, okay? Right, take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye-bye.